సార్ ఆడియో రావట్లేదుగా మనకి అక్కడ నుండి ఆడియో ఇప్పుడు నాకు ఆడియో ఎట్లా వస్తుంది దాని నుండి వచ్చేది మీరు అవుట్పుట్ ఇస్తారు కదా లోలో
6, and we told him 6, and 6 is now. We'll start the meeting, and I asked the Swati Dr. to invite the guests onto the dais.
Happy evening to all the dignitaries. This is Dr. Swati, Professor and Head, Department of Anatomy at Dr.PINNAMANENI&Smt.SEETHADEVI Institute of Medical Sciences and Research Foundation. It is a great privilege and honor for me to conduct the proceedings of today's August gathering, the 30th awards function of Dr. Pinnamaneni&Smt.SEETHADEVI Foundation. I would like to commence the event by calling upon the guests onto the dais. I call upon Dr. Gullapalli Nageshwar Garu, founder, L.V. Prasad Eye Institute, Padma Awardee, to grace the dais. Welcome, sir. It gives me immense pleasure inviting our distinguished guests of today's event and recipient of today's award, Shri S. Somanath Garu, Scientist, ISRO. Hearty welcome, sir. I call upon our Dynamic Director General, Dr. P. Simpson RF, Vice President, Siddhartha Academy of General and Technical Education, and Managing Trustee, Dr. Pinnamaneni&Smt.SEETHADEVI Foundation, Dr. Chadalwada Nageswara Garu, to come on to the dais.
Om Namo Venkatesaya. Good evening. Dr. Gullapalli Nageshwara Garu and C. Somanathan Garu. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to Dr. Pinnamaneni&Smt.SEETHADEVI Foundation 30th Annual Awards Function. We believe in sage Veda-Vyasa words. Suvarna Pushpam Prudhvim Chinvante Purushahu Triya Chorascha Vidvacha Yascha Janati Seditam. Three types of persons pick up the earth yielding golden flowers. A brave person, a learned one, and a person who serves others. Such person should be honored. All the three are there with our guest today, who is going to receive our award. Likewise, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, President of USA, said, "A nation reveals itself not only by the men it produces, but also the men it honors and it remembers." Our foundation reaffirms its commitment. It makes up a very core of its purpose and objectives in honoring eminent persons in their fields. Today we have a luminary who was kind enough to accept our award to be here with us. So far we had about almost 40 people who were honored, and every year we were doing that except for 3 COVID years. I think Lord Somanath, we all know that, was adorner of the moon eternally on his head, Sirassu. There are always, who is there? Andanga unde Chandrudu untadu paina. So, our Somanath was adorned Bharat on the moon of Chandrayaan. Because he was there at the time he reached the moon, he wanted to reach. Maybe there is a sixth sense of his parents who envisioned the name of Somnath for their son. Why the name for their son? There is they envisioned that he is going to be, because his father was a Hindi teacher, and their expectations need to live of making his name a distinguished personality by fulfill the goal ordained at his birth. That's why his name is Somanath. That's why he is reaching the moon, and he reached the moon recently. And all of us are very proud of it that he is here. That's all what I wanted to tell about you, to you about this. Now I hand over the podium to Dr. Swati Purnima to conduct the meetings, and then Mullapalli Nageswara will preside over the function. Thank you for all of you to come here. I'll see you.
Thank you, sir. It is a tradition to begin our awards function with an invocation by Vedic scholars. Vedas are the repository of the distilled wisdom of our culture. It is appropriate that we commence the proceedings with enchanting of Vedic hymns, the Vedic Parayana by our beloved Vedic scholars. Today we have Pandits who are going to embrace us with this Parayana.
गणाधिपतये नमः श्री महासरस्वत्यै नमः श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् सिसानो वृषभो न युग्मो घना घनः क्षोभनश्चरुषणीनाम् सङ्क्रन्दनो निमिष एकवीरस्य तगुंसेना अजयस्साकमिन्द्रः सङ्क्रन्दनेन निमिषेण जिष्णुना युत्कारेण दुच्यवनेन दुष्णुना तदिन्द्रेण जयततः नरैषु हस्तेन वृष्णा सैषु हस्तैः सनिसङ्गिभिर्वशी सग्स्रष्टा सैधा इन्द्रोऽग्नेन सकं सृष्टयुत्समपाबाहुजुद्दन्वा प्रतीताभिरस्ताः बृहस्पते परिदीयारथेन रक्षोहामित्रागुम् अपबादमानः प्रभञ्जन् सेना प्रमणो युधाजीर्नस्माकमेज्यमुदारथानाम् गोत्रविदं गोविदं वज्रबाहुं जयन्तमध्वप्रमणन्तमोजसा इमगुं सजाता अनुवीरयध्वमिन्द्रगुं सखायो नो सगुम्रभद्रम् बलविघ्नायस्तविरप्रवीरः सहस्वान् वाजी सहमानवुग्रः अभिवीरो अभिसत्त्वासहो जाजैत्रमिन्द्ररथमातिष्ठ गोवितु अभिगोत्राणि सागाहमानो दायो वीरस्य तमन्युरिन्द्रः दुश्चवनपृतनाषाढयुज्योऽस्माकं सेना अवतु प्रयुत्सु इन्द्र आसान्नेता बृहस्पतिर्दक्षिणा यज्ञः परयेतु सोमः देवसेनानामभिभञ्जतीनां जयन्तीनां मरुतो यन्त्वग्रे इन्द्रकृष्णवर्णस्य राज्ञादित्यानां सन्तागुं सद्धरुक्रमम् महामनसां भुवनच्यवानां घोषो देवानां जेतामिदस्तात् अस्माकमिन्द्रस्तमुते शुद्धजेष्वस्माकं जायिषभस्ताचयन्तु अस्माकं वीरावुत्तरे भवन्तस्मान् देवा अवता अवेषु उद्धर्षयमगवन्नायुधान्युत्सत्वनां मावकानां महागुंसि उद्धुत्रान् वाजिनान्युत्रतानां जयतामेतु घोषः उपप्रेतजेता नरस्थिरा वह्वन्तु बाहवः इन्द्रो भस्सर्म यच्छत्तना दुष्यायता सता योऽसृष्टा परापत सर्वे ब्रह्मसंसिता गच्छामित्रां प्रमिषमेषां कञ्चनोक्षिता मर्माणि ते वर्मभिच्छादयामि सोमस्वा राजा उतेना विवस्ताम् पुरोर्वरीयो वरिवस्तेरस्तु यन्तन्त्वामनुमदन्तु देवाः यत्र बाणाः सम्पतन्ति कुमाराभिषिकायुवा इन्द्रो नस्तत्र पुत्रः विश्वाः सर्मयच्छतु शतमानं भवति शतायुः पुरुषस्थितेन्द्रिय आयुष्येवेन्द्रिये प्रतिष्ठति.
Thank you, sir. Moving forward, I now request the dignitaries on the dais to proceed forward for the floral tributes to the portrait of Dr. Pinnamaneni and Smt.SEETHADEVI garu. I request Dr. Shashidhar garu, Dr. Sudha ma'am to come on to the dais. I request all to proceed for the Jyoti Prajwalana. Deepam Jyoti Parabrahmam is a spirit of ushering in light and wisdom to dispel the darkness and ignorance. The lamp is a glorious symbol of knowledge, life and consciousness. The Vedic prayer of Tamasoma Jyotirmaya leads us from darkness to light. Sure, sir. It is indeed a honor that KVP Ramchandra Rao garu is honoring our Director General, Dr. Nageshwar Rao garu and Sudha ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you all. Now I request Dr. Gullapalli Nageshwar Rao garu to conduct the further proceedings.
Shri Shomanath, distinguished guests, and citizens of Vijayawada. I wish we saw many more students in the crowd, but disappointingly there were not many to be found here. What we are celebrating today is excellence. excellence in different fields of human endeavor. A concept that Dr. Pinnamaneni was very fond of. He always strived for excellence in everything that he did, and encouraged by Smt.SEETHADEVI garu. As the first qualified general surgeon of Vijayawada area, he strived very hard to provide the highest quality medical service to the citizens of Vijayawada and the surrounding regions. And in commemorating his life and Mrs. Sita Devi's life, the family of Dr. Pinnamaneni has decided to honor those eminent individuals who have made lasting contributions to many fields in our country. We have honored people from the area of medicine, social sector, agriculture, development, science, and in fact, 4 of the past awardees ended up with a Bharat Ratna. All these people demonstrated what may be called a commitment. About a year ago, I came across a book sent to me by a friend entitled Committed. I believe the world is made of 2 types of people. One is a group that belong to the committed group. The other is a group that belong to what is known as liquid modernity. The first group of people are the ones who never let go of anything, persistent, perseverant, and achieve things. They discover new things. Whereas the second group of people cannot make up their mind. They move from one to the other, don't want to commit to anything. The world is full of these 2 groups of people. It is the first group of people that Dr. Pinnamaneni and Smt.SEETHADEVI Foundation have chosen to honor over the past 30 years. These people, I believe, have 3 things right that they do. One is they are diligent. Second is whatever they do it right. And they also have ingenuity. And once you have a combination of these 3 qualities, one can perhaps achieve anything that they would put their mind to. And this year again, we are very fortunate to be honoring an individual who eminently qualifies on all these counts. He has taken us to new horizons, beyond borders of what we know, and made India proud. It is these sons that we should celebrate. And I'm happy that Sri Somnath has agreed to be with us this evening, even in the midst of a very hectic schedule that he always goes through. Sri Somnath, welcome to Vijayawada. And your presence here will prove to be an inspiration to many in the audience, and hopefully someone in this audience will follow your example and do something in the future that will stand out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Now we'll have a video presentation, a documentary on Dr. Pinnamaneni and Smt.SEETHADEVI Foundation. Video, please.
Dr. Pinnamaneni and Smt.SEETHADEVI Foundation. Grows great when great men plant trees, under whose shades they know they shall never sit. One among those few great men to sow the seeds of inspiration was are accustomed to their highly stressful jobs, and their extremely busy lifestyle is pushing people away from the society. Working on materialistic achievements without coming in contact with the society, the pursuit of happiness has become a never-ending quest. It is easy to flippantly ask people to be socially aware and serve the humanity, but holding true to the profound intention of service to humanity is service to God. Dr. Pinnamaneni stands tall as an inspiration for this generation. Let us take a moment to look into Dr. Pinnamaneni's life. Dr. Pinnamaneni was born on 16th of December 1910 in Nepali village near Vijayawada to Sri Pinnamaneni Punnaya and Srimati Varalakshmi. After college education, he joined MBBS course in Andhra Medical College, Visakhapatnam. He was the first person to qualify for the MS degree in general surgery in first chance in 1945 from that college. Then he worked in both government colleges at Visakhapatnam and Guntur. Dr. Pinnamaneni started a clinic in 1950, 2 years after India became a republic. People from the villages around Vijayawada found it difficult to travel to cities to avail the medical treatment. Pinnamaneni Clinic has become a ray of hope for many. While practicing at Vijayawada, on persuasion of the Director of Medical Services, Major K.N. Rao, Dr. Pinnamaneni worked as Honorary Professor of Surgery in late 1950s. Dr. Pinnamaneni got married to Smt.SEETHADEVI, who is the daughter of Sri Katragadda Raghuramaya and Srimati Anasuya. During this time, Dr. Pinnamaneni worked for nearly 16 to 18 hours every day. New bride Smt.SEETHADEVI was always a pillar of strength and support for Dr. Pinnamaneni in those days, and continued to be so for the rest of his life. Dr. Pinnamaneni has become the household name for not only the people of Vijayawada, but also for the people from many towns and villages in the neighboring districts in Andhra Pradesh. His brief stint in Government Medical College in Guntur motivated him to set up and encourage in starting the Siddhartha Academy of General and Technical Education in 1975. He was founder-president for the Academy. The Academy was responsible for establishing the first self-financed engineering college in Andhra Pradesh under the aegis of Siddhartha Academy. Now, the Academy runs 18 institutions with more than 20,000 students on roll. The institutions established by the Academy have made a rapid progress under his guidance. Dr. Pinnamaneni Venkateswara Rao and Srimati Seethadevi Foundation, PSF, was established in 1989 by their eldest daughter, Dr. Srimati Sudha, and her husband, Dr. Y.S.R, along with the family members. The main aim of the foundation is to honor eminent persons in the fields of literature, culture, fine arts, medicine, science, sports, social services, to arrange very valuable cultural and literary programs, and to sponsor extension and endowment lectures, and so on. The foundation is extending financial assistance to meritorious students who are economically backward to pursue their professional studies. The foundation is extremely happy to honor many individuals, each one eminent in his or her own field of activity. The recipients represent the broad spectrum of distinctive persons drawn from all parts of the country and fields. PSF, after 3 years of its establishment in 1991 and just 4 days prior to the award function, Dr. Pinnamaneni left for heavenly abode on 12th of December. An inspiring leader does not just lead, but inspires others to lead. The foundation took the responsibility of organizing the award function. The foundation is now administered by the following trustees.
Dr. Gullapalli Nageswar, Chairman. Dr. C. Nageswar, Managing Trustee. Sri S. Venkateswar, Treasurer. Sri Chandrasekhar, Trustee. Dr. C. Sudha, Trustee. Sri S. Krupakar Rao, Trustee.
Unlike many award ceremonies, the foundation is unique in every sense, from the way the function is conducted to the selection and nomination of the awardees. PSF follows strict punctuality, staying away from unwanted extravaganzas, and the functions are decorated according to the ideas and ideals focused by the recipients. The foundation has honored several outstanding personalities from various fields. Following are the dignitaries who were honored by PSF. 1989, Professor V. Ramalinga Swami and Bhasha Pravina, Sriman Sri Bhashyam Appala Charyulu. 1990, Dr. Karan Singh and Yasho Rajya Lakshmi. 1991, Dr. Varghese Kurian and Sri L.V. Prasad. 1992, Sri M. Narsimham and Dr. Bindeshwar Pathak. 1993, Lata Mangeshkarji and Sri S.P. Balasubramanyam. 1994, Sri B.G. Varghese for specialized reporting in journalism. 1995, Sri R.K. Lakshman and Dr. H. Sudarshan. 1997, Sri Ramanand Sagar. 1998, prominent scientist admiringly called as Missile Man of India, Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam. 1999, Padma Bhushan, Dr. M.S. Valyathan. 2000, versatile Carnatic singer, Sri K.J. Yesudas. 2001, Seva Rural. 2002, Dr. Kiran Bedi. 2003, Srimati Sudha Murthy. 2004, Dr. Jayaprakash Narayan. 2005, Professor C.N.R. Rao. 2006, Dr. Anji Reddy. 2007, the Metro Man of India, Dr. E. Sridharan. 2009, Dr. Srinath Reddy, cardiologist. 2010, world-renowned tabla player, Ustad Zakir Hussain. 2011, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. 2012, Dr. Y.V. Reddy. 2013, Dr. P. Chandrasekhar Rao. 2014, Hit and Kiss Group of Institutions, Achyuta Samanta.
Silver Jubilee celebrations in 2015, Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia and Sri Hindal Sen Gupta. 2016, Brahmasri Chaganti Kodeswarrao and Sri Tamma Srinivas Reddy. In 2017, Dr. Tessie Thomas, Distinguished Scientist and Missile Woman of India, received the award and spoke on Odyssey through space science. The Gram Pragati Puraskaram was presented to Swachh Sundara Challapalli Ujjimam, represented by Dr. D.R.K. Prasad and Dr. Padmavati. 2018, Dr. Gandhi P.C. Kaza, forerunner of forensic science. Karnadi Lakshmi Narsaya, Doyen of Telugu folk art. 2019, Sindhu Thai Satkar and Dr. Dhulipada Ramakrishna.
Thank you for a great presentation. A round of applause, please. It is indeed, legends are born from small places but make big impact on larger places. I now request Dr. Shashidhar Prasad Killaru to come on to the dais and introduce us to Dr. S. Somnath.
Good evening, everyone. Chairman Dr. Nageswar, Managing Trustee Dr. C. Nageswar, and Dr. Sudha, it indeed gives me great pleasure to provide the introduction to our chief guest. As many of you know, Dr.PINNAMANENI&Smt.SEETHADEVI Foundation, as was just shown on the video, was established in December 1989 by the family members of Drs. Pinnamani&Smt. and Srimati Seethadevi in recognition for Dr. Pinnamani's service in various fields of activity and Srimati Seethadevi's unstinted support to him as a life partner. One of the principal objectives of PSF is to honor outstanding personalities who contribute in great measure to Indian culture, fine arts, literature, sports, science, and social service. As was demonstrated in the video, multiple famous luminaries have accepted this award. One of the added benefits of this award ceremony is to bring these national treasures to our fair city. Having been born in Vijayawada and spending my early years here, anything that shines light on our city is always welcome. This award ceremony and the ones before this could not have been successes they were without the tireless behind-the-scenes efforts of all the trustees, especially Dr. Sudha and Dr. Nageswar. I would like to take this opportunity to thank them not only on behalf of our extended family, but also on behalf of the city for shepherding this organization for the past 30 years. I would also like to thank you, the audience, for being such an integral part of the celebrations year in and year out, and continually showing up to honor such luminaries and showing them the hospitality that Andhra and Vijayawada is famous for. Now, moving on to the 2024 honoree. Where do I start? Dr. Somnath became a household name last August when, under his chairmanship, the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, carried out the third lunar exploration mission called Chandrayaan-3. The lander named Vikram and the rover named Pragyan landed near the lunar South Pole on August 23rd of last year, making India the first country to successfully land a spacecraft near the lunar South Pole, and the fourth country to demonstrate a soft landing on the moon after the United States, Soviet Union, and China. This stellar achievement has become a source of great national pride, and as an architect of this accomplishment, Dr. Somnath, you deserve a lion's share of the credit. Having recently watched the movie Oppenheimer, certainly may not be the same, I can only imagine the difficulties of gathering intellectual stalwarts and getting them to work together to do something that has rarely been done is not as easy as it appears at first glance. Managing inflated egos, perceived and real slights, hurt feelings, and deadlines is certainly no easy task. This is not even taking into account the bureaucratic interference, budgetary pressures, political landmines, and media speculations that comes with directing such a large governmental organization. Dr. Somnath did not fall into this role by accident by any means. He was definitely born to do this. He was born to a Malayali family. His father, as was mentioned earlier, was a Hindi teacher who had a love of science and astronomy and had a very big influence on his career choice. Dr. Somnath has a reputation of being a profoundly humble person whose innate curiosity, as well as the ability to engage with the young and the old, as well as the educated and the uneducated with equal attentiveness, explains how he's able to command the respect and lead the scientists of ISRO in his role as director. A fan of Malayalam poetry, cinema, and classical music, is also very proficient in Paurashastra, the branch of astrology which deals with predicting the future. But he is certainly not one to rely on predictions. He believes in creating that future through hard work. Under his leadership, ISRO has many ambitious projects in the coming years and decades, including the human space mission, Gaganyaan, building a space station by 2035, a manned moon mission by 2040, a Venus orbital mission, and potentially a Mars lander mission. These and other highlights will be shown in the video to follow. He's a devoted husband to his wife, Valsala, and a proud father of 2 children, both of whom have completed post-graduation training in engineering. It is truly a privilege to have him grace us with his presence, and I have no doubt that he is the leader that will take ISRO and India to new heights. Please kindly join me in welcoming Dr. Sridhar Panikar Somnath, the 2024 recipient of the Drs. Pinnamaneni&Smt.SEETHADEVI Foundation Award. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now let us have a video presentation on Dr. Somnath Garu.
Moon, this familiar object in the night sky, has inspired the imagination of astronomers and ordinary people alike. From time immemorial, humans have marveled at the beauty of the moon, used it to count time and navigate the high seas. In modern times, Moon, the only natural satellite of the Earth, has acquired added importance due to the belief that Moon is the key to our understanding of the evolution of the solar system in general and Earth in particular. Besides, Moon's precious resources and low gravity have further endeared it to humans. India, a major spacefaring nation, has conducted a detailed exploration of the Moon through its Chandrayaan program. The country has sent 2 robotic spacecraft to orbit the Moon and to take a repeated look at its surface. Chandrayaan-1 demonstrated India's ability to reach the surface of the Moon at a place and time of its choice. And with it, India became the 4th country to reach the surface of the Moon in November 2008. Besides, Chandrayaan-1's conclusive discovery of water on the Moon in 2009 was praised as a path-breaking discovery. The follow-on mission, Chandrayaan-2, had an orbiter, a lander called Vikram, and a rover named Pragyan. In the past 4 years, the orbiter has repeatedly observed the lunar surface and even today is working satisfactorily. Now, 3,900 kilograms Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft is being sent to the Moon with the objective of making yet another focused attempt to slowly land on the lunar surface and to explore it with the help of a rover. Following the spacecraft launched by India's most capable rocket, LVM-3, the Chandrayaan-3 lander carrying a rover within it will be carried into an orbit around the Moon by the propulsion module. A little later, the lander will separate from that module and will attempt to make a soft landing in the south polar region of the moon. This region is of intense interest as it has many permanently shadowed craters which could contain water ice and precious minerals. Chandrayaan-3 lander has 4 scientific instruments or payloads, of which one will study the moonquakes, while the other one studies as to how the surface of the moon allows heat to flow through it. The third one will study the plasma environment near the moon's surface. And the fourth instrument will enable scientists to measure the distance between the Earth and Moon very accurately. The 2 instruments on the rover help us study the composition of the moon's surface using X-rays and laser respectively. While the lander and rover will be in direct contact with each other. The propulsion module circling the moon will observe the light coming from Earth, the only planet which we know which is definitely teeming with life. This observation will help in understanding the nature of distant planets circling stars other than the Sun. As Chandrayaan-3 undergoes important tests and gears up for launch, thousands of ISRO scientists, including those who will launch it, control it, and receive the precious scientific information from it using giant dish antennas, are readying themselves for the challenging tasks ahead. In the past, their dedication and skill have enabled India to earn praise from across the world and made it proud.
To the launch event of India's prestigious LVM-3 M4 Chandrayaan-3, the mission of ISRO to the moon.
S-200 के प्रज्वलन के 108 सेकंड के पश्चात L-110 जो कि
-2 minutes
तरलनोदक पर आधारित चरण है, इसका प्रज्वलन शुरू कर दिया जाएगा। अब हम उड़ान से 1 मिनट की दूरी पर
10, 9, 8, 7, 1, 0 plus 5 seconds.
Lift off normal.
Here we have a majestic lift-off of LVM-3 M4 rocket carrying India's prestigious Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft.
P2 tracking.
प्रज्वलन और सफलतापूर्ण उत्थापन LVM-3 M4 रॉकेट का। यह भीमकाय रॉकेट आसमान को चीरते हुए अपनी भयानक दहाड़ से चारों ओर कंपन उत्पन्न कर रहा है, जिसे हम यहाँ महसूस कर सकते हैं, और यही दहाड़ है जो वैज्ञानिकों को रोमांचित करती है। LVM-3 के उत्थापन के साथ ही हमारे अंतरिक्ष यान चंद्रयान-3 की चंद्रमा की यात्रा प्रारंभ हो चुकी है।
As the rocket is soaring through the clear skies, every second moving closer to the accomplishment of the most important milestone in its mission to moon. Every Indian witnessing the launch live is content with the feeling of watching history in the making.
At this point are providing confirmation of the safety of the landing site.
As expected, the retargeting is going on, and this is a very good signature for the lander. अभी आप ये देख सकते हैं कि लैंडर की ऊंचाई लगभग 65 मीटर के आसपास बची हुई है।
Currently, only 2 engines are now being fired, and we are nearly at 0 velocity, vertical and horizontal. We were hovering, and now we are approaching the moon's surface.
धीरे धीरे लैंडर की वेगमान को कम किया जा रहा है, और हम अब लगभग 50 मीटर से भी कम आ चुके हैं।
We can see the Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, who is here to encourage us, and he is critically looking at the visuals.
जी हाँ, आप अपनी स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं कि हम लैंडर मॉड्यूल।
People are applauding. Let us all wait to hear from the Secretary Department of Space and Chairman ISRO, Shri S. Somnath.
लैंडर मॉड्यूल पूरी तरह से सेफली और सॉफ्टली चंद्रमा के सतह पे लैंड हो चुका है। ये हम लोगों के लिए बहुत ही गर्व की बात है।
Congratulations, India. Chandrayaan-3 has started its journey towards moon. Our dear LVM-3 has already put Chandrayaan-3 craft into the precise orbit around Earth. 170 by 36,500 kilometers was its intended target orbit, and it is precisely there now. And let us wish all the best for the Chandrayaan-3 craft to make its further orbit racing maneuvers and travel towards moon in the coming days. So let me wish all the very best to Chandrayaan-3 for its further journey towards moon. Before that, let me introduce the team behind this mission, the mission director, Mr. Mohan Kumar, and also the project director of LVM-3, and we have also the mission director for the Chandrayaan-3 craft, the project director of Chandrayaan-3, Veeramuthu.
Oh, you all are mesmerized, right?
Shri S. Somnath, Chairman, Indian Space Research Organization, and Secretary, Department of Space, is truly a role model without parallel in Indian Space Research Organization. Mr. Somnath graduated with a second rank in Bachelor of Technology in Mechanical Engineering from University of Kerala. He was awarded a gold medal for his Masters in Aerospace Engineering from Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. Immediately after his graduation, Mr. Somnath joined Vikram Sarabhai Space Center and became part of an elite team involved in the development of Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, the PSLV. He soon evolved as an expert in the areas of mechanisms, pyro systems, and satellite launch services management. Mr. Somnath is the architect of India's prestigious Bahubali rocket of ISRO, the GSLV Mark III, LVM-3. He was instrumental in taking the project from the drawing boards to the launch pad. The first experimental flight of LVM-3 X-Care mission, where the re-entry and recovery of crew module was demonstrated, can surely be termed as a confidence booster leading to the approval for Indian human space flight, the Gaganyaan. He appraised and interacted with a host of luminaries like Dr. Kasturi Rangan, Dr. Madhavan Nair, Dr. K. Radhakrishnan, Dr. Kiran Kumar, and Dr. Sivan, all chairmen of ISRO, and many national leaders, including Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji. Mr. Somnath wholeheartedly supports technology transfer to industry and encourages hand-holding industries for them to achieve maturity, thus fulfilling his commitment towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. He is one of the most distinguished vehicle system engineer internationally. Mr. Somnath assumed the charge of Secretary, Department of Space, Government of India during January 2022, just after the announcement of space reforms by Government of India. The production of PSLV through Industry Consortium has taken final shape through NSIL under his close supervision. The first developmental flight of small satellite launch vehicle was launched recently and presently is going to the industry for commercialization. His thoughtfulness to encourage startups has made him an admirer for youngsters and space enthusiasts. He is enthusiastic about student development and never misses even a single opportunity to interact with them, however busy he may be. Throughout his illustrious career, he has been a recipient of many awards, like Merit Award, Performance Excellence and Team Excellence Awards from ISRO, Lifetime Achievement Award instituted by TKM College Trust, Platinum Jubilee Award from Aerospace Department of Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru, Space Gold Medal of Astronautical Society of India, and many more. Mr. Somnath is a dynamic leader and a moderator in the critical phase of transformation. Will take the Indian space sector to new frontiers.
A round of applause, please. It was mesmerizing indeed. Sir, Somnath sir, what I felt was you were very happy when you were with the ISRO people and with the rockets. Otherwise, you were a bit serious demeanor. On a lighter note and all apart, now I request all the family members of Pinnamaneni, the trustee, the managing director, chairman, to come on to the dais for presentation of award to Sri Somnath Garu. It's an honor to invite the better half of Somnath sir, Sri Valsala Kumari ma'am.
I want to tell you something which is not on the agenda, which provoked me to tell you that. Whoever has received Padma Shri before joining or we gave the award, all of them were got Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan. 93, we had a Bharat Ratna with us. What is he going to get? He became a president. So now we had 4 Bharat Ratnas among our people who are given our award. This is not our greatness, it's their work. The only thing we had is God gave us the strength to select them and to bring them to Vijayawada so that we can, all the elite of the town can see them. Otherwise they wouldn't have come. So I'm sure one day, if I live long enough, I will see him getting Bharat Ratna. God bless you, sir.
With that blessings, I now request Somnath Garu to speak few words.
Good evening, all of you. Dr. Gullapalli-Nageswara, who is presiding this function, Dr. C. Nageswara, Dr. Sudha, and all the family members of the Pinnamani family and also the trust members, my heartfelt thanks to selecting me for this award and honoring me to be amongst those illustrious sons and daughters of India that you have just saw there, who have been awarded by the virtue of contribution for the nation. And whatever I did, you were gracious enough to recognize, congratulate and support and present this award to me. I am really honored and blessed because of your kindness. And let me also say thank you, Vijayawada, for bringing me here. This is in fact my first visit to Vijayawada. Not been here earlier, though I have been traveling across Andhra so much. So thank you for that possibility also. So I told Dr. Nageswara that I will find an occasion to come here again to meet his students of this college and talk to them and interact with them at some time. So this is an opening for that possibility. I think you have already seen the journey that culminated in the landing of the Chandrayaan-3 on the moon. And I will tell you, this journey is not the result of a few months or years of work. It's a generation of people's work. This is something which I would like to tell you today. Though I am being awarded as a chairman of this organization at this point in time, the work that has been done in this organization for many, many years is what is contributing to this success. Let me take a few moments to thank all of those my gurus and mentors who have created a person like me out of an ordinary person, who came into the organization as an engineer way back in 1985. I was mesmerized by the people around me. You saw Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He was there. He was just created the SLV3 aura around the entire organization. But by the time I was joining, he was moving over to DRDO to create another history as the Missile Man of India, and later to become the president. But along with me at the organization when I joined were eminent people like Dr. Madhavan Nair, who became later the chairman, and many others who were mentored by Dr. Kalam, who were part of his team, were there in the organization. And I was with them with the same project, the PSLV project, where all these people from SLV3 era moved to create the PSLV, and I was part of that team. And the type of influence these people had on me, because they were all like Kalam. I think you must know what Kalam is. I think all of you are familiar with his approach, attitude in moving people to do things which they think that it is not possible for us to do, but he brings that belief in each one of you. And those people, his Shishyas were there around me. They were not just ordinary people, but outside they will just look ordinary. Like I believe that as Dr. Pinnamani and his family, they were just ordinary people, but they were able to create the transformative power of human mind to achieve something great. And within the organization, I was able to watch and see them and grow along with them. when they were conceiving the PSLV, designing the PSLV, I was observing and learning. And I got this opportunity later when I became the project director of the LVM-3 rocket. After many years of work, the task of writing the project report of that rocket was assigned to me and my boss, Mr. Ramakrishnan, who was again under the tutelage of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who was the young engineer when he joined along with Kalam, and he became my boss. And we worked together for 20 years, and he is no more there. And we wrote the project report of the rocket. And after many years of work, in 2014, I was very proud to see the rocket taking off. The sketch that I made on an A4 sheet of paper, how the rocket should look like, was really standing in front of me as a mighty rocket, 640 tons of mass, having a capability to take 4 tons of satellite to the orbit. Just imagine the pride and pleasure that you get out of that type of a journey. Conceiving some idea and creating it actually in front of you with the support of thousands of people in the organization. And this is what I learned from them. With a collection of people who may not be that great individually, but when you put all of them together and move in a direction with a great amount of focus, you can do wonderful things. And this is something which I learned from the organization. And ISRO as an organization is a beacon of hope for all of us. For India to be among those top 4 nations who landed on the moon, I can tell you it didn't come by accident. It came by the sheer determination and desire of those people who created it. And there are hundreds of them who have moved out of the organization after retirement. And I want to salute all of them. Some of them are still living, some of them are gone. But their contribution is something that made us knowledgeable enough to handle the future tasks that are lying ahead of us. I think I want to thank all those gurus and mentors that shaped the generation of people which I am representing. The Chandrayaan-3 also is not an accident. It is a result of continued work from the Chandrayaan-1, Chandrayaan-2, then came the Chandrayaan-3. You must remember that when Chandrayaan-1 was thought about, there were no rocket, like LVM-3 was not there. Only PSLV was there. And a decision was taken to launch Chandrayaan-1, a mission to moon. And you look at the idea that ISRO brought out, like Dr. Madhavan Nair, who was architect at that point in time, he conceived that it is possible for us to do a mission to moon even with PSLV, which was designed only to put a 1,000-kilogram satellite in Earth orbit. And we could do that mission because the ingenuity of the mission management, which everybody knows today, that longitudinal Earth orbit, go slowly, increase its orbit further and further, ultimately reach the moon. Though it takes longer days to travel, but it is possible for us to reach up to the moon. And Chandrayaan was a classic example. A nation like India could plan such a mission and bring in almost 5 to, I think it's around 5 or 6 payloads from US, Europe and other nations on board the Chandrayaan-1. And again, that mission found out the presence of water on the moon. First time, though you know many American missions were there, many Russian robotic missions were there. None of those missions found presence of water on the moon. And we had the fortune to do that when we did the Chandrayaan-1 mission. Because there were good instruments that was put by the US side as well as Indian side, which both of them found the presence of water on the moon. Today it has been further corroborated by the measurements done later in Chandrayaan-2 mission. So the Chandrayaan-1 was again a remarkable one, because when this idea came of Chandrayaan-1, then came Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. That time he was the president of India. And when it was presented to him, this idea of Chandrayaan-1, he said that you don't not only go there, but you also do something to put our flag on the surface of the moon. You must do something to put our flag on the moon. And that idea came, and we created something called Moon Impact Probe. And the whole idea was done just 6 months prior to that launch. And we built that Moon Impact Probe, put it on the Chandrayaan-1, and separated from Chandrayaan-1 when it is in the orbit, and made it to go and impact on the surface of the moon, and put the first ever Indian-made object landed near the south pole of the moon. In Chandrayaan-1 itself, it is not in Chandrayaan-3 that we went to the south pole. In Chandrayaan-1 itself, we went to the south pole, and that was though not a soft landing, but it was a hard landing, as you know, that we were throwing it on the moon surface. But it was not just a throwing of a stone on the surface, but that object had a camera, they had measurements, and while it was traveling towards the surface of the moon, it was taking images, it was doing measurements, and transmitting scientific data back to Earth. And that's the ingenuity and innovative ideas that Indians could do. I think this is something that we must all be very proud of. With such a low budget, we were able to conceive and do such missions in such short periods of time. When Kalam told this idea, in 6 months we brought out a design and built it and put it on the moon mission and did that successfully. And that is the beauty of the whole thing. And then came the Chandrayaan-2. Chandrayaan-2 was, by the time when Chandrayaan-2 was there, my rocket was getting ready, LVM-3. I was not working on Chandrayaan-2 at that time. I was working on the rocket. But then the rocket made its first maiden mission by that time. And then a decision was taken to fly the most prestigious Chandrayaan-2 on its first development mission of operational mission of the LVM-3. And it was a very critical decision. That decision, when Dr. Shivan, my predecessor, took, I was supporting him, saying that we must fly on Chandrayaan-2 on LVM-3 rocket. Though there is a risk associated with flying such a prestigious mission on a just qualified rocket, but that decision was taken because we were very sure about the rocket that we designed. And the rocket is also very important for Chandrayaan-3. It's not only the spacecraft, but the rocket, you know, it is the 4-ton to geo-orbit capable rocket with our own cryogenic engine and stage, which function till now in all its 7 missions beautifully, successfully. And this is again a great thing that has happened along with the journey of Chandrayaan-3. But unfortunately, Chandrayaan-2 could not make the soft landing. That all of you know the story of Chandrayaan-2. Though the mission was greatly successful, we had the orbiter around the moon. Even now it is working, and it helped in the Chandrayaan-3 to send the data back to Earth. And it gave one of the best ever images that was done on moon. Today we have the entire map of moon with 25 centimeter accuracy. And no other cameras in the world has such a beautiful picture of moon today. And when Japanese people were trying to land on the moon, it was our images that they used. We sent those images to them to planning that mission. And our data is in so much demand world over because our camera was one of the best in the Chandrayaan-2. And using this data from Chandrayaan-2, we designed the Chandrayaan-3. And the debacle that had happened in 2019, our ability not to soft land on moon, 4 years of hard work by my team. I think all of you know the leadership. I think you have seen them in TV, those young fellows who worked day and night. I can tell you they never went home. They slept on at the lab most of the time, working the whole night, men and women, who dedicated themselves to find out what went wrong with Chandrayaan-2. And a great team of scientists who worked behind the scene to analyze this data, to find out what went wrong with the mission, why we could not soft land. Unfortunately, you know, this accident of hard landing occurred on moon, and there was no way to collect the debris back. There was no black box that can be collected like a aircraft crash. And the investigative team has no clue from a hardware. There is only the data that came as a telemetry data that came to your computer, and you have to analyze and find out what went wrong. So the only way to do is to hypothesize what could be the possibility, what are the possibilities of something going wrong, and then test those cases and see what went wrong. But we were able to find out, to our great surprise, many reasons for such failure. It's not just one reason why it didn't soft land. In the rocket business, in space business, all of us know a failure occurs not because of one reason. A failure occurs on account of a chain of events which opens a set of windows straight in front of you. If one window is open and if the next window is not open, the failure won't propagate. If unfortunately there are multiple windows are open and all align along the line, then it causes a failure. This is a simple way of explaining a failure. So there were multiple windows open, allowing the failure to propagate. And all of them were found out. But you won't believe that even one window was not found out. That was found out only just 6 months before the mission. We were able to even find that. And it came out in a random experiment when we were doing. We found out one more reason that why it failed. And luckily, because of that event, we had a successful landing on the moon. So it tells us that a very complex mission like this has to have both a very good theoretical understanding, very good hard work, lot of research, but also need blessings and luck. Then only you will find out. And it comes out of the dedication, our commitment to find out at whatever cost, we will definitely find out the reason for it. And luckily, it all opened to us in front of us due to various hard work that people did. The errors that were there inside were revealed to us. And those errors were corrected. And when we did the Chandrayaan-3, in fact, much before the launch, much before the landing, I declared to the people that at whatever cost, whatever failure happens, this is going to land this time successfully. In fact, it was a prediction that came true in the real life. So I was not under tension on that day, I must tell you. When the landing occurred, we were at ease because what best that we can do has already been done. And there is nothing more we can do. We have to watch and enjoy that moment. And I can tell you, like all of you prayed and wished prior to that landing, I think it's not only you people, the entire country was on prayers and blessings. It was coming. I was believing on that day when it happened. How it can fail when lakhs and lakhs of people are focusing on an event to become successful. It is impossible for it to fail. Even if it wants to fail, it is not possible for it to fail, I can tell you. When such a scenario is happening in the country, and this was the emotion that went so high, and we couldn't have tolerated a failure, I know. It would have been very, very difficult for all of us, it would have been. But luckily, the whole thing went very well. And I can tell you, it's not only just went just very well, it went in a manner that everything was so perfect. Every instrument worked, every experiment worked, and not only that worked for perfect landing, the perfect deployment of the Pragyan out and did all the scientific experiment. It worked for all the 14 days very well. We got all the data that we wanted, and we did more than that we wanted to do. At the end of the 14th day, we were trying to do some more experiments. All of you are aware that we did a HOPE experiment. We jumped up once again to test how the craft can go once, come back to Earth. We brought the orbiter back to Earth orbit from Moon orbit. So we did some more experiments to demonstrate our future plans of going to Moon. So we got 200% out of the 100% of Chandrayaan-3. And this is something that gave us so much of confidence for, and not only for us, but for the entire country and for the government. Now, and when I met our Honorable Prime Minister Modi, he said, you people don't even understand that what impact that you have created in the whole country by this mission. And he was all support for us. He said that you must do much more than what you are doing today. And he gave a vision for us to do in the future. He said the experiments should continue. We must have more missions to Moon. As already been told, we must have more exploratory missions, mission to Mars, Venus, build a space station and land human beings on the Moon. So this has given us, for the first time in the history of ISRO, a long-term vision for almost 25 years have been created. And we are working on this program to get approvals, government node to go ahead and build all of this in the coming days. And this is something great to happen in ISRO. And again, I would tell you that all this has a basis of the culture that we have created in our organization, the ISRO culture. Wherever I go, I speak about this to people. We are all ultimately government servants in ISRO. All of you know that we are salaried people in a government organization, and there is no way to give you anything perks beyond whatever you get in salary. So in an organization where you are only getting salary, how do you extract people the best out of them? How do you make them work 16 hours a day? I can't give them overtime. No, no scientists are eligible for any overtime. So, but still they work for many more hours than they can really work. They put their best effort to succeed, and they dedicate even sacrifice some of them, their personal life to do what best they can do. It's only because of the inspiration that you can create within them, the pride that can be created within them, and the commitment that we can create in them, and for the cause that we are all standing for it. And this has already been done by my earlier generation of leadership. And I am only a person continuing the tradition of mentoring my next generation of people. Today, when I stand here, I can tell you, in my organization, there are 100 such people like me who will be able to take this organization, make you proud in the next set of generations for doing fantastic work. And this is the only thing that I can offer to you when I stand. It is not just because of my work. It is because of the culture that exists in the organization. There is enough of leadership who will be able to handle complex problems like this, motivate people to do great things, and make all of us proud. And we look forward for such people to come and get awarded in further years. I am very sure about it. There will be more people coming here, and like Kalam, I may be the second person from ISRO. I am very sure about it that there will be 4 more people when Pinnamaneni Trust will bring him and honor them one day. And thank you, Vijayawada, and all the family of Pinnamaneni for me this is a great day. My wife is here, Valsala, and my family as well. Let me thank you. This is the first time she is witnessing a a function where I am being honored. I never allowed her to watch anything. Yeah? So thank you for coming along. She was having double mind before traveling. I said, you must come because this is a family event. No? It's not not otherwise. So thank you so much for joining me in a function where I am honored. And thank you for all the support that you have given to me through my life journey. I thank you once again, Dr. Nageswara and his family, Dr. Sudha. Both of them came to Bangalore, to my office to invite me personally. And the trouble that they had taken to come there to motivate me to come and accept this award, because I was finding it extremely difficult to find a slot for me to travel and come. Today I am here because even the last 5 days I was traveling all across, and I could come because the flights were on time. And thank you airlines for making it happen. Otherwise I would have missed it today. And all the great honor that you have given personally to me and to my organization, I am highly indebted, and bless all the family. Let be blessed for all those trust and board members taken great pain to come and be part of this function, and all those who are assembled here. My greetings once again, and thank you so much for this opportunity.
I think it will be befitting if you can stand up, give standing ovation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. You have entered us to your journey of Chandrayaan. Thank you so much. We have understood that passion and perseverance is one which gives the good qualities of a leadership. You are a great leader. So since all good things come to an end, so we end our function today. So for proposing the vote of thanks, it has been such a honor to be part of this wonderful event. On behalf of Dr. Pinnamaneni&Smt.SEETHADEVI Foundation, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished guest, Sri S. Somnath Garu. Thank you so much, sir. Sincere thanks to Dr. Gullapalli Nageswara Garu and Dr. Shashidhar Killaru for handling the event gracefully. I would like to thank our secretary, Siddhartha Academy of General and Technical Science, Sri Paladugu Lakshman Rao Garu, and Treasurer Sri Sureddy Venkateshwar Rao Garu for gracing the occasion. A wide round of applause to the power couple, Drs. Nageshwar Rao Garu and Sudha Garu, who always strive hard to make any event memorable and successful. Finally, I would like to thank all of you present here for making the time to be with us today and helping us be this event a grand success. I thank the technical team. Yes. I thank the technical team, logistic team, the supporting staff, the press, and the audio-visual men for all supporting us. Thank you one and all. Thank you all. Let us all stand up for Janagana Mana.
Janagana Mana Adhinayaka Jaya He Bharat Bhagya Vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Utkala Vanga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchchala Jaladhi Taranga तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय जय हे
Jai Hind.
Om